And in my opinion, it doesn't matter how big, how beautiful, how luxurious your costume is. If you're able to sell that story, the audience will get it and they will enjoy it. Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and for today's video we have a very special one because we are going to be talking about the Miss Grand International National Costume Competition, which just happened a few hours ago, and I'm super thrilled because I finally get to show to you my top picks for every single candidate that walked the runway. I personally feel like as a pageant fan, national costumes is one of my favorite competitions because it's so creative, it's so colorful. You get to see the candidates under a different light. Although it's one of the competitions that is not noted towards who gets the title, I feel like it's one that really requires a lot of effort and preparation from the candidates and the respective teams. So for this reaction in particular, I really wanted to come up with a list of picks, which I did. I officially have 14 picks, and I also have 3 shoutouts, so 3 special mentions that I would like to give. And to be fully transparent with you, I kind of spent like 15 minutes trying to rank them, you know, with the country, the looks and all of that, but I realized that each one of these costumes really has a cultural value, really has, you know, a lot of meaning and thought behind it. So I decided to not necessarily rank them, but really just go with the alphabetical order. Just keep in mind that for every single national costume that made it into my list, I put it there because from the very first moment, it really just grabbed my attention. Alright, so I won't keep you waiting for much longer. Let's get right into it. The only thing that I'm gonna ask from you is that if you enjoyed my video, please don't forget to leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let me know in the comment section if you agree with my picks, if you like my comments and feedback, or if you would have added someone else on the list. Alright my friends, so without further ado, let's get into today's video. I really hope that you enjoy it.
Be strong.
So just to get things started, we're gonna start by talking about the beautiful Miss Argentina. And I am really happy with her national costume because of how beautiful, how colorful, and how sexy it is. I feel like not only there was a lot of thought about what she was going to wear as a national costume, but also which part of her body she wanted to accentuate and really showcase, because I mean, not only she is representing Argentina very fairly, but also she looks amazing while doing so. And this is a beautiful reference, you know, to Argentina. My stepmother is actually from Argentina, so I know that she will be really proud of this if she got to see it. So I definitely had to put her on my list. Next one, we have the incredibly sexy Miss Brazil. And let me tell you, child, I was really surprised with this one in particular for the reason that, I mean, it's very simple when you look at the actual costume. It looks like a bodysuit. However, it's really the thought behind it. I know that she was inspired by a legend in Brazil, which is like this huge, you know, anaconda, I think it is. And you can really tell that the garment that she's wearing has a lot of attention to details when it comes to replicating the illusion of snakeskin, but also really just the execution of it. I really feel like Miss Brazil was one of the candidates who really sold us a story, and that I really loved because that's what the national costume should be all about, you know, putting all the effort into the dimensions and this and that. That's very cool, but at the same time I should be able to learn something about the country, about the culture, about the people. And I feel like with the presentation that she had, she really opened the door for us and allowed us to know the legend of this anaconda. Next one on the list, we have the stunning Miss Costa Rica. And I mean, do I even have to describe this to you? It's green. It's the first thing that comes to mind. But as the host was presenting the costume, they were telling us that it was inspired by jade, and already, you know, with the blend of feathers, the stones that they used as well for this costume, and the peacock feathers, I feel like that was just like a magnificent touch. You know, I'm a fan of very colorful and very produced costumes, but I feel like if you're going to go with one color, really this is the way to do it. You know, just blend different shades, different textures, different patterns, and make it fun and interesting. And she went really big. I mean, I can never complain about big, if you know what I'm saying. Next one on the list, we have my home country, Cuba. And of course, I'm paying homage to Hazel with my t-shirt today and my lights in the back, representing Oshun. And for those of you who don't know Oshun, she is a goddess from our African Caribbean culture and religion, and I honestly am so satisfied and proud of Miss Cuba. not only for how she represented our country, but I mean, she looks so regal, so magnificent, honestly, truly like a goddess. Her body is extremely beautiful, and I love how the national costume really accentuates that. But something that, if I'm being honest, I did appreciate even more than the costume is the fact that she had the intention to make a political statement. Now, she did not have the time to do it properly because the camera had to move on to the next contestant, but she had a Cuban flag with a statement for Patria y Vida, which means patriotism and life. It's like a big political movement that is happening in Cuba as Cubans are trying to gain their freedom and fight for their independence. I'm really happy and proud with this because we know that Cuba is a small country when it comes to pageantry, and Hazel could easily rival with the powerhouses looking like this. Next on the list we have Miss Czech Republic, which in my opinion is one of the national costumes that looks the more elevated when it comes to fashion standards. I could definitely see this in Vogue magazine, on a runway, on a designer's atelier, something like that. I mean, already there is a blend of a lot of things that feel very elegant, very regal. We're talking about the dress, you know, even like the design of it is very creative. And underneath she is wearing this, I would say it looks like a legging, but I'm not gonna call it that. Let's say a mesh, which looks metallic, blends very well with the rest of the outfit. I love that she had different textures, not only the fabric of the dress, but also there's stones incorporated, there is feathers, and the headpiece, I feel like it's so beautiful. It truly looks like it's made with silver, and overall, from head to toe, she looks extremely cohesive. I like it. She sold the story. One more thing, just looking at the headpiece, it made me think of Gazzini's costume during Miss Universe. If you don't know the reference, go and check it out, but you will see what I'm talking about. Next on the list, we have a candidate that I've been throwing flowers at her since the beginning of the competition, Miss Dominican Republic. And this time around, she did not let me down. I mean, I have a lot of Dominican friends, and I know how warm, how fun they are, how funny as well. And I feel like this costume that she's wearing really embodies that spirit. This was inspired by the national flower of Dominican Republic, but to be honest, what I really did appreciate is that, okay, yes, it does have, you know, the flag colors and all of that, but that the accessories are even bigger than the costume. That's exciting. It feels like she is just there as a prop herself, just to bring value and visibility to all of the rest, all of the elements that are representing for the country and the people. I also did appreciate the contrast between how, you know, small and delicate and beautiful she is, but then also this accessory, this mask type of thing that looks so evil, straight out of a horror movie. I don't know, makes me think of a festival, of carnival. I don't know, I love it. Next one, we have Miss Honduras, and I really like this one because I felt like she truly did have a concept. Of course, this is inspired by their culture, their traditions, and their heritage, but what I really did like is that they went the extra mile and even committed to the makeup. I mean, every single aspect of this national costume, you can see so many different details that I'm not even gonna get into it because honestly, I will spend like 10 minutes talking about this particular costume. But overall, when you look at the color palette that was used, when you look at the different elements that were incorporated on the costume, you know, there are feathers, there are stones, there's glitter, there is cheetah print, even when you look at it. I really feel like they were able to put, you know, so many things together that I don't know if I would have been able to pull this off. You know, when people say that less is more, they were like, no, more is more. And that's what they brought us, and I love it. Next one on the list, we have Miss Malaysia with this truly monumental national costume. If I'm not being biased, I feel like this is, if not my top one costume, maybe my top two because of how big it is. I love how they really thought, you know, outside of the box, and they didn't just commit to the national costume on what she is wearing. And it's not uncommon for candidates to bring an accessory or something that they carry. However, I do feel like here the biggest part of effort that was put was into this, you know, accessory that she is carrying, which is 10 times bigger than the candidate. It feels like they truly have a story to tell, like they have a concept, like they went above and beyond just to come up with something incredible and something creative. The candidate herself, I mean, I also have to give her props for being able to carry this structure on stage and really sell us the story to make it shine. Because even if the structure is amazing and everything behind her looks perfect, she still has to, you know, perform and make us buy the story, and that's what she did. Next one on the list, we have Miss Mexico coming up to us with this story of the feathered snake or the feathered dragon. I have heard of this legend before. I used to watch a lot of Mexico documentaries when I was a kid. What I really loved about this costume, first of all, is the creativity, because once again, they thought a little bit outside of the box and went with a structure that, in my opinion, is not the easiest one to carry. For example, Malaysia was wearing like a big structure. It was something that they would just carry and it will stand by itself. But here is something that is wrapped around the contestant. So that's already a challenge itself. But all the mix of colors, you know, including feathers, and then trying to replicate the skin of the dragon is also very creative. And even how realistic it looks. I mean, if I saw this at 2 a.m. in the morning down the street, I'd be scared. I also do like, I don't know if it was intentional, but how the candidate really allowed room for the national costume to speak for itself. When you look at the structure, it's very colorful, it's really out there. I mean, you cannot miss it. But the candidate herself is wearing pretty much dark colors, which it creates a contrast between the two of them. But without neglecting herself, her makeup looks beautiful. You can see that there is also a lot of effort put on the candidate herself. So amazing. Next one on the list, we have Miss Peru, who in my opinion is wearing one of the most fun outfits of the night. And I know a lot of people are gonna tell me Luis is like black and yellow. Literally, I know, but it's fun to watch. I really like how they went outside of the box once again, you know. Everyone had like similar, you know, big structures with feathers and all of that, but they really had a concept. And I like the fact that when I look at it, I'm just wondering what it is. Is it a bird? Is it a butterfly? Is it a yellow peacock or a bee? I don't know. Can be all of those. But also it's so interesting to watch because it doesn't matter which part of the national costume you're looking at, there is so much detail. There is really elements that you can just like spend a moment analyzing and thinking about the story behind it. So I appreciate it. You know what? I really wish that each candidate had more time for us to just get to see the national costume and get to hear the entire story behind it, because honestly it's just so amazing. I love this one. Next one on the list, we have Philippines. Samantha Panlilio wearing a Paro Paro festival inspired national costume, looking beautiful as a butterfly. And to be honest, something that I really did appreciate, I know that maybe a lot of people didn't think of this, is that she went with something that is a reference to Cavite. It feels like a full circle moment for Sam, because for those of you who follow Bini Bini Pilipinas, she was candidate #1 representing for Cavite, and now she is representing the entire country internationally, but still sending us a reference to her province. When it comes to the outfit itself, I thought that it was so creative, and I loved what they did with the light. I feel like Samantha was one out of 2 candidates who really played with the light to even enhance the experience of the national costume. In the very beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that she was gonna be in trouble because of how heavy it looked. I felt like she was gonna have problems moving, but she was able to sell the fantasy, and honestly, she looked amazing. Saying that I'm proud of Samantha is truly an understatement, and I'm really excited to see what else she's gonna do, because if she's performing so well during national costume, girl, when the swimsuit competition comes and preliminaries, she's gonna kill it. Next one on the list, we have Miss Thailand, and once again, this is one of the costumes that I feel like you can spend an hour just analyzing the costume and the details and all of the things that they included within this garment. But once again, just like a few other contestants, I feel like Miss Thailand is one of the girls who really put a lot of effort into the theatrics, selling us the story, making us live an experience rather than just witnessing the costume. And in my opinion, it doesn't matter how big, how beautiful, how luxurious your costume is. If you're able to sell that story, the audience will get it and they will enjoy it. For this one in particular, it was very successful because of that, the performance. But I mean, just the costume itself is a statement already. So when you combine the two of those, it's the perfect blend, win-win. And now is the turn for Miss Venezuela, looking a costume that, in my opinion, I feel like it's so cool. There is definitely a storyline here. And I was thinking in the very beginning, if Miss Brazil and Miss Mexico had a baby, this is what it would be. I love really how you have the duality of 2 different concepts within the same costume. You have this very dark side, which is a play with, you know, more like yellows and dark colors. You have the snake as well. And then on the other end, it's pretty much very light, purple and pink tones, which feels very delicate, you know, very soft. And on top we have this beautiful headpiece which feels very royal, very majestic. I feel like it's also a statement. And once again, just like I was telling you for Miss Thailand, I feel like Miss Venezuela put a lot of effort on the performance itself, which will always enhance it for me. But yes, it's another example that you don't really have to go, you know, that big or think outside of the box or outside of your body dimensions in order to deliver something very impactful, very efficient, and at the end of the day, very memorable. Good job, Miss Venezuela. Last one on the list, we have Miss Vietnam, which in my opinion, honestly just killed this entire challenge. I really love the concept of the national costume because it's something that, yes, I know that it's a message coming from Vietnam, but at the same time it's so relevant that every single country in the world can relate to this. I mean, especially going through the pandemic, our health workers are so important and so valued. So I feel like representing them as blue angels, that was just such a beautiful tribute to them. I really loved as well the mechanics of the costume. The fact that the wings could move, the fact that the heart in front of it also had light elements. And like I was telling you for Miss Panlilio for Philippines, she was one of the two candidates that was playing with light as well. So it always enhances the performance. Once again, please go ahead and amaze me. And if you recall earlier, I was telling you for Miss Malaysia that I was hesitating if it was Malaysia number 1 or number 2. I was actually hesitating with Miss Vietnam. I feel like she did such an incredible job and I was kind of like, is she my number 1 or my number 2? I don't know, but honestly, it doesn't matter because she did a remarkable job. Now, I did mention in the very beginning that I had 3 special shout outs that I wanted to give to other contestants, and the first one is going to Miss Paraguay. The reason for the shout out is because I feel like it's so colorful, so beautiful, and I am always down for a political statement or something, you know, like challenge society, challenge the norms, and that's precisely what she did with the message on the back of her costume. The shape of the costume itself really made me think of other things that I've seen before, and that's why I didn't include her at first within the main list, but I still feel like she did an amazing job and I'm so proud of her. The next one on the list is Miss Hong Kong, because I mean the costume was tongue-in-cheek, you know, very fun, very creative, something that I would expect from Miss Hong Kong at this point. Most importantly, I really feel like she had the best attitude to pull this off. She was freaking eating on stage. How can I not love this? There is no way. And my last shout out on the list is really for Miss Angola, which in my opinion had the best performance of the night. And you know, earlier I was telling you for some candidates that sometimes it's not about the national costume so much, but about the performance, how you present it, how you sell it to the audience. She had a very simple national costume, something that you see that was made without a lot of resources. And this is something that she's been open about, right, for the entire competition. But man, did she sell that performance. That was, I feel like I was like watching Broadway. Her facial expression, her body movement, everything was on point, and I enjoyed it from beginning to end. There you have it, everyone. Those were pretty much my top picks and my special shout outs for the Miss Grand International National Costume Competition of 2021. But I still want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comment section, what did you think? Do you agree with my picks? Do you agree with my feedbacks? Is there someone else that you would have included yourself on the list? Let me know. I will be reading you in the comment section down below. While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like on my videos that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, you already know, come here and give me a hug, because that's a little tradition on the channel. Know that I love you, that I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and spending a few moments out of your day here with me. And until I see you next time, everyone, please stay safe, be kind to one another, sending you all my love, all my kisses, and I'll see you on the next one.